Try something now.
Testing?
Okay, good, cool. How's it going?
Hey, I'm doing good. Okay, I'm sorry. I just wanted to talk to you for like 2 minutes because there are a lot of people that spread a lot of bad information about fair use or DMCAs or how any of that shit works, okay?
Sure,
And
let's
you're
go.
the only person that can push back against any of it because, oh my fucking god, it is so cringe.
Am I like the Obi-Wan Kenobi, the last hope?
No, I don't know. I just, for the people that I have, I just like to try to limit the spread of misinformation as much as possible. So, for filing a DMCA claim, okay, so the Digital Rights Millennium Act, no, the Digital Millennium Rights Act, DMCA, Digital Millennium Copyright Act. It's one of those combination words. Basically, the reason why this act exists is because it protects large content hosters from being directly liable when it comes to hosting copyrighted content. And the reason why is because you could understand that any platform that is user-generated content would simply not be able to exist if you could sue them for copyright infringement. Because anytime somebody hosts copyrighted content, your platform would get fucked. You'd get DMCA'd. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So the way that there's something called these safe harbor protections. The way that platforms make it so that they're not held directly liable is they have to fall under a safe harbor. And one of those provisions of the safe harbor is making sure that you expeditiously remove copyrighted content from your platform in response to a request from a copyright holder. Now, there's no obligation, technically, by the host to validate any of the information coming from a DMCA request because those requests are filled out by penalty of perjury. When you sign a request, you say, I am swearing on this affidavit under penalty of perjury that I am the copyright holder of the infringing material and I want this removed from the site. It is incredibly risky for the site, except in some egregious circumstances. It's very risky for the website, for the content host itself to be like, well, hold on. I don't know if I believe you. I don't think this is true. Because if they fight with that too much, they might end up losing their safe harbor provisions, which effectively destroys the entire website. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. There are like, supposedly, the last wave of DMCAs that went out, supposedly, I don't know if this is true or not, but supposedly like the entire form wasn't even filled out. So I'm guessing Twitch is either not doing their due diligence and making sure that all of the fields are populated because they're lazy programmers or whatever. So in that case, you can obviously overturn those. But this idea that like Twitch needs to pop up and like protect its content creators from DMCA strikes, as much as I would like that, obviously something that's been DMCA strike before, it's just not very realistic because Twitch doesn't ever want to be liable for hosting copyright infringing content. You just can't be. You would be destroyed as a business doing that.
So is that the part that you want pushback against? Like you started this by saying there's like some disinformation going around. What is that?
Yeah, well, basically, I think like Mike is like screaming, saying things like, "Oh no, like they could actually be representing us and fighting back against us." It's like not really. All they can really do is make sure that the form is filled out. Like it's not on them to validate an email address or validate the existence of some company. That just gets really scary really fast. So even with the most recent wave of DMCA things, now I'm assuming Twitch must have done a further investigation because if that company ended up being real. Even if their site is weird or whatever, then that site can now like take Twitch to court. They can be like, oh, okay, well, we're going to go ahead and sue you now. And then Twitch will lose, and then potentially your safe harbor is threatened, and that's the end of that site. You just can't be liable for copyright infringement content. But yes, but all Twitch can really do is like, if I go out right now and I fill out the document, hey, my name is Jeff Bezos, you're illegally hosting content, boom, 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 and then I swear under penalty of perjury, I sign that and send it off. Twitch can't really be like, well, hold on, I don't know if that's really you, because like, well, what the fuck? What are they going to do if they're wrong? Like, they don't want to be the ones that are held directly liable for it.
Yeah. I'm like, this is the first time it's happened to me. I'm not as familiar with the system in Twitch, but I'm really familiar with the one on YouTube because I've fought a lot of copyright strikes before, and theirs is a lot better. Like, there's a lot more steps involved, right? Like, it's not as if someone with a fake email address could just do the copyright strike on its own. You have to fill in a lot more information, for example.
Well, so like, no. On YouTube, actually, there's like a huge issue with some people had created fake companies literally with just the intent in mind of copyright claiming old content to make money off of it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, this happens a lot on YouTube as well. On YouTube, the process is a bit more formalized because the Google company is not as absolutely fucking inadequate like Twitch's company is. They've actually got like a larger back and front end built for that process. So on YouTube, they've automated a DMCA. They've automated a counterclaim as well. So you can do all of that, which is nice. You should be able to counterclaim as well. But you could still theoretically, I hate saying this publicly because it sounds bad, but you could create a fake account and just DMCA content on YouTube, and YouTube would have to respect it. Yeah, assuming you sign the form. Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, you just put it there though. You signed the form. Like for this, what just happened, right? They successfully did this with a fake email. Like the email itself doesn't even exist. So I think like, couldn't that just be the bare minimum? Couldn't it be that you need like a valid email address at the very like? There has to be somewhere to start, right? Could you agree with that?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it sounded like before Twitch wasn't even verifying that the entire form was filled out, or maybe they don't have a form. Maybe they only take an email. But like you mentioned on YouTube, there's an actual form, and you have to fill out like an amount of information: first name, last name, address, phone number, and all of that.
Yeah, and you sign a legal disclaimer, basically.
Which you should have to do. If they're not doing that on Twitch,
I completely agree with you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So why don't we start there?
Yeah, it should be. If it's not, that's definitely something that Twitch should be doing. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
But yeah, I just the idea that like Twitch can like go to bat against like malicious DMCA claims, like YouTube has had the same issue, and there's not really much you can do about it from a legal point of view unless you're willing to risk your entire platform. Yeah.
Yeah, I still think though, like this seemed like, you know, like for me when this happened and I saw the website right away, I was like, okay, this is obviously a scam. Like, you know, I didn't even come out this thinking, hey, I'm going to come out this from the whole fair use perspective. I was like, oh, I got caught. That's it. Fair enough. I was broadcasting it. Like I deserve to be caught for this. And then right afterwards, I was like, oh, wait, this isn't actually CBS. This is clearly a fake like front set up to pretend that they're representing CBS in this case. Yeah, so and I get what
something you have to
saying.
Be careful about that. And again, like especially when we're in copyright territory, something you have to be careful is like there are times when these people don't actually like CNN might not DMCA themselves. CNN might actually hire another company to go out on the internet and look for stuff like this. They might.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Just happens, so careful
all
about
the
that.
time. Of course. But I like, you know, it didn't take a lot of research to find out this wasn't real, right? Like both email addresses they had. Were fake. As soon as I posted any information about them, they deleted their email addresses, which immediately was like, this is very, very bizarre. The next day when I made that video about it, they deleted their entire website. Like this was clearly, you know, to me, it was too easy for them to pull this off.
Sure. Yeah. It's entirely possible that it was all fake. I'm still not 100% sure. I don't know. Were there FEC filings with CNN working with this company? I feel like somebody posted
CBS, not CNN.
CBS, yeah. There might be, there might not be. I'm not sure. I would just say always, just be careful of that, because if you counterclaim a DMCA claim, the next thing that happens is you go to court if the other people are real, which you're fucked. Yeah, you're so scared, because when you file a counterclaim, you also are essentially signing the affidavit saying, yeah, this is my content actually, fuck you, like this is not a real claim. And their only response at that point is to say like, oh, okay, well, we're going to go to court then and fight it out, which is really scary. So you just be really sure when you file those counterclaims, what's going on.
But that's also one of the reasons why I thought that maybe they didn't go after you and Hassan, because you guys are so huge that you would have the money to potentially take that to court, right?
No.
No?
Zero. I don't have the money to go to court over something related to copyright. One, I don't even know if I would win. Two, I was like pretty flagrantly like restreaming the thing. I think it's a fair use thing, but I mean, like, I don't have the money to pay for expert witnesses and lawyers and shit. That's like you're on a magnitude of at least $50,000 for that case, if not more, depending on how long it gets dragged out. And then yeah, I don't think that anybody makes DMCA claims. This idea that they're claiming people with the idea in mind of who can afford to fight it and who can't just doesn't make any sense. Because at the very least, they could just DMCA me, and then when I counterclaim, they could just say, like, okay, well, we're not going to go to court because he has the money for it. Because they could file the initial DMCA for free and then just not respond to my counterclaim, right?
Did you even get a strike? Or would you not know that unless Twitch actually took action on it?
No, they would take my stream down. I didn't get one for this one. I did for one in the past, but not for this one.
Yeah. That's interesting. I'm kind of curious then. Like, do you think, like, part of me also thought that maybe they didn't even enforce it for you and Hassan, because again, you guys are so huge. You both
Absolutely
have, like,
not. It doesn't work that way.
No?
I promise.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No, fair enough.
Unless Hassan is more connected at Twitch than I am, unless he's got like some kind of protection there, but definitely not for me. Like I said, I've been banned for a lot of shit collectively on this site, more than most people. So I don't think I have any special protections. But
okay, fair enough. Okay, well, yeah. I mean, I don't think I was pushing any kind of conspiracy theories. If you wanted me to push back against them.
Oh yeah, no, just understand that like it's really scary as a site that hosts user-generated content to try to become liable for that kind of stuff. That's really scary, because if you lose safe harbor, you're destroyed as a company. I think in Europe they tried to push. I don't know if this is going to be a provision of the GDPR or what, but they for a little bit in Europe they were talking about holding content hosting sites liable for copyright infringement material, and that's essentially just banning all of those sites. They'll never exist. You can't do it. You just can't authenticate that much content. Like it's not possible. Yeah. Okay.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Well,
how's life going? What have you guys been up to lately?
What do you mean us?
I don't know, just you and your fan base and
my fan base, my loyal fans. I was actually watching your debate not too long ago with Vosh. It was really entertaining.
The screaming one or the level-headed one?
The level-headed one.
Oh,
the screaming one was also entertaining, but for different reasons.
In a different way. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Well, that's my goal is to entertain. I am an entertainer, so.
And you guys are meeting up pretty soon, right? In March?
Yeah, I think so. So I mean, neither of us gets killed before then. Yeah.
What does that mean?
I don't know, man. The internet politics is a fucking scary place, my dude.
It's true. It's true. Cool.
All right.
Well, yeah. Thanks, Destiny.
Okay?
I appreciate it. Cheers.
Yep, bye. Tracks got banned without audio? Wait, what do you mean? Like